Welcome to Wise Minds, Wild Hearts, the podcast for heart-led high achievers just like you, ready to take inspired action and achieve true alignment. If you're craving deeper influence, greater impact, and a life that genuinely lights you up, you're in the right place. I'm Kip Clark, former academic turned entrepreneur, transformational coach, elite athlete, and shameless fountain pen addict. Here, you'll learn how to leverage the beautiful wisdom of your years with the wild passion that drives you forward. Together, we'll break through those limiting beliefs, unlock the power of your subconscious mind, and create a life that aligns with your soul's desire. Ready to create the kind of impact you've always dreamed of? Let's do this. Welcome to Wise Minds, Wild Hearts, a podcast for high achievers. This has been a big goal of mine for quite a while now, and I decided that today is the day I get into inspired action and make it happen. Because here's what I noticed about myself, and you may recognize some of this in yourself too. I had gotten myself into a mode of busyness about learning all I believed I needed to learn before starting. But that busyness had turned into an outstanding vehicle for procrastination. I kept telling myself I needed to learn just one more thing about this, or watch one more YouTube video about that, or have another conversation with somebody. I mean, you get the idea. And then I noticed that I was in a kind of constant consuming mode, which kept me from getting into a powerful creating mode. And this is an important distinction for me to begin with, because I see it in a lot of others too. We can convince ourselves we're really making progress with something, we're really moving forward, when in fact we're actually just treading water after a point. So, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely a time and a place for consuming information and learning what we need to learn about something. But the challenge is to limit the time we're consuming so we can more quickly get into creating. The sooner we get into action, genuine, inspired, creating action, the sooner we make our dreams a reality. It's really that simple. So here I am without the perfect tech setup, without a fully formed map of what this next year will look like for the podcast, just a deep desire in me to connect with more people and help make your life a little better somehow. So this podcast is all about finding that sweet spot between the wisdom you've accumulated through all your learning, your experiences, the challenges you've faced, and the wild passion that drives you to create, to innovate, to live life on your own terms. So we'll be talking a lot about the power of your subconscious mind, because that is the source of genuine power and where the real magic of transformation occurs. And the best way to get your subconscious mind to work for you is to understand the connection between your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. And this is something that's referred to in psychology as the cognitive triangle. And once you understand that connection and you start controlling your thoughts, everything changes. Absolutely everything changes. Now, I know you've probably heard about mindset work and the power of positive thinking before, but what I'm talking about here goes deeper than just affirmations or feel-good mantras. I mean, there's a place for those things. They can be powerful, no doubt, but the real magic happens when we understand the why behind them and we get our subconscious mind working in sync with our conscious desires. That's true alignment. But we're not just going to be talking about theory. This podcast is about practical, actionable steps you can take to move out of consuming and into creating, if that's where you are. It's about unlocking the power of your mind, aligning your actions with your deepest desire, and ultimately living a life that really lights you up. I mean, think about it. Your subconscious mind is responsible for, 95% of your thoughts, your emotions and behaviors. It's like an autopilot driving the majority of your decisions without you even realizing it. So if you find yourself feeling stuck, if you feel like you're spinning your wheels, if you're constantly battling self-doubt, chances are good your autopilot is working off some kind of outdated programming, something from your past thinking. So that's where we're going to dive in this podcast. So this is for you if you've ever felt like you've read the books, you've taken the courses, and you still find yourself asking, why am I not where I want to be yet? It's for those of you who know there's more potential inside you just waiting to be unleashed, but you're just not quite sure how to access it. So we'll explore lots of strategies and tools to unlock your potential, not by working harder, but by creating genuine alignment between your inner world and the vision you have of the life you want to create. So throughout our time together, we're going to be talking about how to break through self-imposed limitations, how to quiet that inner critic, and ultimately step into that version of yourself that knows you're capable of doing anything you set your mind to. We're talking about real, lasting transformation where the high achiever in you can breathe easier, knowing that you're operating from a place of joy and purpose and fulfillment instead of stress and hustle and ultimately burnout. So while we'll certainly cover lots of tried and true strategies, what excites me most about this podcast? We're going to get a little wild here too, because being a high achiever doesn't mean you have to follow the rules or stick to some kind of rigid, predetermined path. In fact, in my experience, it's when we break a few rules and forge our own path that the big fun happens. So we're going to tap into that wild heart of yours, that part that longs for more adventure, more passion, and more authenticity in everything you do. It'll be about blending the wisdom of your mind with the raw, untamed desires of your heart. And what does that look like? Well, it means we're going to question the status quo. We're going to rethink the ways we've always been doing things and allowing ourselves to dream bigger than ever before. So we're going to talk about how to move through fear and not in a way that avoids it, but in a way that transforms it into a kind of fuel for your growth. And it's about trusting your intuition, about taking bold steps and giving yourself permission to live life on your terms. So each episode of Wise Minds, Wild Hearts is going to challenge you to step out of the comfort zone of what's safe and familiar and into an exciting space where real magic happens. We'll have some incredible guests on here from entrepreneurs to artists to psychologists and everybody in between, all bringing their unique perspectives on how to blend the intellectual and the emotional, the logical and the intuitive, the practical and the soulful. So if you're someone who's been chasing goals for as long as you can remember, or maybe you're just starting to define what success could look like for you, this podcast is designed to meet you exactly where you are. So I'm not here for perfection. I'm here for progress and for growth and for supporting you to create a life that lights you up from the inside out. And so here's what I want to leave you with today. No matter where you are on your journey, you already have everything you need to succeed within you right now. So your wise mind already knows the answers. Your wild heart is the compass that will lead you there. The key is learning how to bring the two together and to trust yourself enough to take that next step, even if it's not entirely clear where the path will lead. Because this is the thing, you don't need all the answers before you begin. You really, really don't. The act of starting, of just creating momentum, that's what will reveal the next step for you. So it's about stepping into that space of inspired action where you're not just consuming anymore, but you're actively creating the life you've been dreaming about. So, my friend, welcome to the Wise Minds, Wild Hearts podcast. I'm beyond excited to be on this journey with you. So let's dive in. Let's get a little wild here and see where this incredible journey takes us.